I think there are these costs of not sending girls to school, and that's what was in my mind when I could not go to school. That that something has to be done. So I don't know if people call it courage, bravery, or but I think it was simply speaking the truth, making sure that I could go to school and all girls in Swat Valley could go to school.
For a lot of people, Malala, your story begins where you were the subject of a very brutal and dastardly attack. And, you had a touchwood miraculous recovery from it. But when I was reading your story, I think what struck me most was you as a young child, very, very young child, before you were shot at. Um, Going from place to place within Pakistan, within the valley, and this is an area besieged by the Taliban, and speaking about why education is really important. You didn't have today you have a couple of resources, you're well known, there's some amount of security that you can call your own. But back then, you were just a very young child. And your father talks about how he would ask you not to say the word Taliban, but you wouldn't stop. You would name them, you would shame them, you would call them out. I have, while reading that, I wondered, it's always women, mostly women, I won't say always, who are called upon to have extraordinary courage in order to be able to do small things like even educate themselves, right? But for each of us, courage comes from a different place. Where did your courage come from, and where does it come from today?
I think for me, it was as simple as that I wanted to go to school and I wanted to get my education. And for me, just the idea that I was living in a peaceful place, Swat Valley, which was known for tourism, just suddenly became a place of terrorism. Women were restricted to their houses, they were banned from going to markets, girls' education was banned, more than 400 schools were destroyed. And just like some random men with guns make an announcement on a radio saying that a girl cannot go to school, I was unable to process that. And I remember waking up that morning, and I realized that I just could not go to school. And for me, it was not just about being deprived of a classroom, a table, a chair, and a teacher and reading books. For me, it was about my future, because I knew that when a girl is deprived from her education, it means that she is more likely to get married at early age. She's more likely to be involved in domestic child labor. She's more likely to become pregnant at teenage. She's more likely to not be able to take care of herself, her health, her mental health, and so it affects her individually, but then it also affects the whole society, because when women and girls are not educated, uh, on the level of the economy, the country is losing, because women are an important resource and part of society. They can create jobs, they can contribute to the economy, they can help us create a more educated society that is healthy, and that is protected against climate change, that is protected against wars, and poverty. So and also, like many women, they if they drop out of school at early age, then they are dependent on other family members, from their father oftentimes to then their husband. And even when they get divorced and things like that happen, they are back to be dependent on their father's family or brother's family. And it's just that whole cycle. And I think it's a burden on everyone. Like, why are you stopping women? And then just created this sense that now a woman is burden on everybody, because you didn't allow her to get educated in the first place. So it's just I think there are these costs of not sending girls to school, and that's what was in my mind when I could not go to school. That something has to be done. So I don't know if people call it courage, bravery, or but I think it was simply speaking the truth, making sure that I could go to school and all girls in Swat Valley could go to school. And for me, it was literally choosing between just remaining silent and letting things be as they were, or speaking out and doing my part in helping change the things.
If you've enjoyed the conversation that you just heard, do subscribe to our channel for much more.